Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Dr. Vikas Singh Vadoria. I am working as Associate Professor in Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department, ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. This college is affiliated to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow. This video is the short answer question series of the subject HVAC and DC. This subject is in the 8th semester of Electrical and Electronics branch. So before this, we have already uh, discussed about the questions in the two videos. This is the third part of that series. So let us start about the short question in this series also. So first question is the what are the different power losses in the thyristor? So whenever any thyristor, as we all are aware, the thyristor is the main part of any converter, and converter is the main part of HVDC system. So whenever thyristor will operate, there will be different losses associated with that operation. So the losses which are associated with the operation of thyristor. One is the forward conduction loss, means with the losses which is occurring or during the conduction. Then the second type of loss will be loss due to leakage. Third loss will be due to switching, means whenever the frequent turn on and turn off is occurring. And next loss is the gate triggering loss. So these are the four losses mainly occurring in the thyristor. And then the types of power devices for HVDC transmission system means in place of thyristors, what are the other power devices that can be used in HVDC transmission system? These are the insulated bipolar bipolar transistor, GTO, LTT, light triggered thyristor. This is the insulated gate by IGBT. This is the spelling mistake. Insulated gate bipolar transistor IGBT, then MOS controlled thyristor. These are the some alternate options of the thyristor. Then the MOS controlled thyristor, what is it? It is basically a thyristor with two MOSFETs. They are built in a gate structure. One MOSFET is used for turning on the MCT, and another one is used for the turning off that device. And the properties of this MOS control thyristor, as these are high frequency devices, high power devices, and they are having low conduction drop. So these are the main properties of MOS controlled thyristor. Then the light activated thyristor or light activated silicon controlled rectifier. The, the main difference between the normal silicon controlled rectifier and light activated silicon controlled rectifier is that in the LASCR, the pulse of light is gate pulse is given in the form of light. Then the firing angle control, that the current or extinction angle controller generates a control signal, means whenever a controller is applied in that HVDC control system, then that controller will generate a signal. That signal is related to the firing angle that is required for the proper operation of any converter station or any inverter station. Then the firing angle controller generate gate pulses, and these gate pulses will be given as an input at the gate terminal of converter valves. Then the what is the need of control in a DC link? Since the DC link the current expression or expression of a current in a DC link, whenever we will observe that the denominator value is having only a small resistance. So current or the DC link current is sensitive to the change in voltage, which is resulting at any station, any of the station, means at the converter or an inverter station. So that's why we need to control that current uh, to avoid the large fluctuations. So if the large fluctuations will be there, then that fluctuation can damage the thyristor. So to avoid those large fluctuations, we need to control the DC link. Then the principle of control in DC link. This topic is already discussed in detail in previous video. But in this short way, the control of power in DC link can be achieved by varying either the voltage or control, because the P is equal to V into I. So either we can vary V or we can vary I. But for the minimization of loss consideration, we need to maintain the constant voltage in the link, and we can change the current as per the requirement of power. But since the DC link resistance is very low, so if we are maintaining a constant voltage and variable current, then during the fault conditions, the fault current will be very high. So to avoid that condition, generally constant current operation is done, so that the fault current should not increase beyond the limits. Then another question is that current control is desirable in the rectifier station under normal operating condition. Actually, in the previous question that I have mentioned, that generally current control is constant current control is preferred, but since bidirectional flow of power is possible, so in that case, the both end should be provided with the facility or the provision that they can operate as a constant current mode or constant voltage mode. So under normal operating condition, current control is desirable at the rectifier end. So this can be explained with that the increase of power in the link can be achieved by reducing alpha, because we want to increase the power, means we are operating, or we are operating at the constant current mode, so we have to increase the voltage. If we are increasing voltage, means we need to reduce alpha. When alpha is reduced, then output voltage will increase. If output voltage will increase, then obviously there will be increase in the power flow in that link. Then inverter can be operated at minimum, that constant extinction angle or minimum extinction angle. It means it will result in the minimum reactive power consumption. So the operation at minimum extinction angle at inverter end and the current control at rectifier end, this results in a better voltage regulation. And another point which I have already mentioned, that it also maintains the current. So the in the faulty condition, whenever any fault is occurring, the controller will act immediately and they will maintain the current within the limits. There are two type of control. One is fast control and another one is slow control. Fast controller is through control of alpha, and slow controller is when by changing the tape setting of the transformer. And the current during line faults are automatically limited with rectifier station in current control, because that is operating in constant current mode. Then next is how power is reversed in HVDC link. In HVDC link, we all are aware from the working of that HVDC link that current will remain in the same direction. For the reversal of power, only voltage is reversed. So whenever we are reversing the voltage, so it can be done by the increasing the delay angle. Whenever we will increase the alpha, then the converter which is operating as a rectifier, that will automatically start operating as an inverter, and the vice versa will be vice versa will be occurred at the inverter station. Then next is the current margin. So this difference between current controller setting of two stations, means converter and inverter station, that is known as current margin, IM. And during the control characteristic, or during the transfer of control from one station to another station, to avoid the conflict between the two current settings, a difference is provided between the setting of between two current setting of the inverter and converter station. This suppose that IDI is the current order of the inverter and IDR is the current order of rectifier. Then IM will be the current margin. This the value of current margin is approximately 10% of the rated value. So thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, and if you want that more such videos should be uploaded on the channel, then please subscribe the channel. And if you want any specific video, then also comment in the comment box. and don't forget to press the bell icon after the subscribing, so that you will get the immediate notification of the new uploaded videos. Thank you.